99 Homes. 99 Homes. I was so excited to watch this movie. I heard great things about it. I think it was played at Sundance, and that was like picked up right away. Like they played it and it was picked up right away. Along with I think Tangerine and Cop Car. Those were like the three big movies that were talked about during Sundance, and I couldn't wait to see it. So I sat down yesterday and I watched it, and I didn't want to say let down, but yeah, I was a bit let down just because, I love Andrew Garfield. There's just something about him that I really like. I think from the first time I watched him in a movie, which was Boye a few years ago, I was like, this guy's good, and I didn't think that he would become famous, if that makes sense. But he started doing more projects, and he really got recognized in Social Network. And then he signed on to do Amazing Spider-Man. And that sucked. That fucking sucked. I was like, we're gonna lose Andrew Garfield for a few years while this mess is going on. So, thank God Sony fucking squished that dead baby, and we have Andrew Garfield back. And I'm so happy that we get to have him in good movies again. Movies that he wants to make. And this one, it was a very interesting story because it's about Andrew Garfield who loses his home. He lives with his mom and his kid in their childhood home, their house that they've had for years. And I think the movie was set in 2010 from the context that I gathered. And, economy goes to shit, people lose their jobs, people start losing their homes. So he's one of those people, and he gets a job with the guy that actually took it away from him, the guy that works for the bank. So he gets a job with him, and, pretty quickly he's the one that has to kick people out of their homes and evict people and take away their houses. So it's an interesting concept. It was very heartbreaking a lot of times. It was heartbreaking to see, these people that just lose everything. But after a while, I just didn't care. I don't know if that makes... I sound so bad. But basically, I was on Michael Shannon's side. If you can't pay your house, I'm gonna take it away from you. Everybody's got a sad story. Everybody has something that they're going through. You can't pay your house, you have to give it back. That's the way it works. And Andrew Garfield was the one that got totally emotional about it, and he wanted to do the right thing, but very quickly he just started kicking people out of their homes for money. And then he suddenly changes his mind because he happens to know a person that he has to kick out. It was very just convenient to me. The ending wasn't... I didn't like it. It's not like a twist or anything. It's not, I'm not gonna spoil it, but I didn't like it at all. The fact that he seemed totally okay with doing whatever he was doing throughout the movie. And, he seemed mildly concerned at times, and he mostly was concerned about his family home that he wanted to save, but then he bought another house anyway. Like, he pretty quickly gave up on his old house when he had enough money to buy a new one. And it's like the whole point of this was was for him to make enough money to save the house and then get a regular job, which didn't happen. So he was good, the acting was good. His mom was just very delusional and in denial almost, and she was very innocent and naive and childish in the way she thought about things and spoke about things and the way she saw things. She was very childish about it. Maybe because, she mentions that she looked very young. She mentions that she had him when she was very young, so maybe she never really grew up, and he's the one that has to take care of her, but, she was very childish about a lot of things. And, I just happened to be on Michael Shannon's side. He was doing his job, and you just gotta do your job, man. And, there was a moment where Andrew Garfield had the option of doing something or not doing something, and I was like screaming at my screen, do it, it's your job. I don't give a fuck if you feel bad about it. Lawyers have to defend murderers and rapists and guilty people all the time. It's their fucking job, and get over it, you know. Someone has to do it. So, you signed up for this job, you knew that you were gonna have to evict people, suck it up. Shut the fuck up, suck it up, be a man about it. And he was being a little bitch by the end of the movie, and I don't know, it wasn't exactly what I was hoping it would be. I was just on Michael Shannon's side. I guess that's why I didn't like it that much, just because there wasn't a lot of anything in this movie. There just wasn't much there. There were some good shots and some good dialogue and some intense scenes, and mostly Michael Shannon was just fantastic, and he made this movie for me, because Andrew Garfield was getting on my nerves. He was good, he was a good actor, but he was, like, the character was getting on my nerves by the end of it. Just suck it up, man, just suck it up. And, you know, he bought a house for his family, and he wanted to take care of them, and they just, like, spit in his face. They were so ungrateful. And it's like, it's not like he likes his job, you know, he's not doing anything illegal. He's just doing something that not everybody can do, I guess. And, you know, he's making money, and he's making sure that his family's okay. And they're just so ungrateful about it. And they're just so, like, no, we don't want your house. Well, go live on the fucking street then. Oh my god, like, I'm doing this for you. And you're just being so ungrateful. And I don't know, am I a greedy person or something? I'm not a greedy person. I do value money. I was brought up to value money in the sense that I should be sure that I have enough money to buy something if I want to buy it. You know what I mean? I don't spend money recklessly. So when I see all these people that just took out mortgages on their houses, and they took out loans for their houses, and they know that they can't pay it back, like, you know you cannot pay it back, and it's the people's fault for taking out all that money, and then it's the bank's fault for giving them all that money, so everybody's in the wrong here. And now people lose their homes, and that's awful. That's fucking awful that people have to lose their homes, but it is what it is. If you can't pay it, you can't pay it. And make sure that you can afford what you're buying. So I was brought up to really, you know, value and think about my purchases. Not be cheap, but don't just spend money that you don't have. So maybe that's why I'm on Michael Shannon's side in this. The law is the law. That's what he said. The law is the law, and it's true. You might not agree with it, but you gotta fucking do it. I don't agree with a lot of laws, but I gotta fucking do it, right? And I don't know, this movie just, I feel like they wanted us to feel bad for Andrew Garfield and what he had to do, but I didn't feel bad for him at all. That's your job, you fucking do it. You don't like your job, you fucking quit. Guess what? He didn't quit because he wanted that money, because that's what makes the world go round. Money, it's true. And that's the only reason he stayed. He made enough money to buy his own home. He had to wait a few weeks for it, so he decided to buy a bigger one, a better one. But he kept going to work, and then suddenly he decided that he didn't like it anymore, and it was very half-assed to me. The ending was just very half-assed, and it didn't tie up anything for me, and it didn't really do anything for me. So I don't know, the ending was very disappointing to me. It was very just convenient. The characters that were involved in it and everything that happened, it was just very convenient to me, and I didn't like it at all. But, you know, I enjoyed watching it as I was watching a fucking airplane. It's flying by, and it's so loud. I live right next to the Air Force base, whatever it's called, and like right next to the soldiers and shit, and they just like they're basically my house. So, what was I saying? Yeah, didn't really do anything for me. It's not a bad movie at all. I think maybe it's just a personal thing that I have with it. Maybe it's just my personal issues that I have with the story and the situation. You know, the economy went to shit and people couldn't predict that. But at the same time, it's like, fucking make sure that you can afford what you buy. You know, don't spend more than you have. People think that just because they have a credit card, they have unlimited money. You have to give that money back. And the bank will fuck you over as you're giving it back. And they will keep asking for more. And just make sure that you have what you're spending. Don't... Economy lesson 101. Don't... Yeah, just don't spend recklessly. And don't think that, oh, the bank is giving me money, that's free money. That's not free money. You have to give it back. And there's a percentage, and there's a rate, and there's credit, and there's just a bunch of shit that goes into it. So I feel like, you know, all these people that were shown in the movie, I understand that they have a story, they have families that they have to take care of, and they lost their jobs, and, you know, that's something that you can't predict. You can't predict losing your job in the economy crash. You can't predict that it's all gonna go to hell. But just be a bit smarter about it. You can't afford your house, get a cheaper one, get an apartment. You know, you can live. It's gonna be a bit tight for a few years, but you'll be fine. I've done that. You know, my family has done that. I think everybody had some issues during the economy crash, and my family included, and we were able to figure it out. And you know, we didn't lose our house, we didn't lose anything. We have to economize a bit. I think everybody has gone through that, and just be a bit smarter about it. I sound like such a bad person, but just be a bit smarter about it, and you won't lose your house. And you know, there was a family that I felt really bad for because they were scammed. They were paying rent in that house, and the owner was just scamming them, and he didn't let them know that the house was going to be taken away. But those people, they were just paying rent. They didn't buy the house, so they can just move. But yeah, just this movie didn't do much for me. The law is the law. Just stick to it. I know it's awful, but, you know, there's, like, people that just put out a gun, and a guy, you know, just threatening them and shit. It's like, dude, they came in with police officers and a warrant. This house is being taken away from you. Just stop fighting it. There's other ways to deal with it. So, yeah, the acting was great, the cinematography was great, but other than that, the story itself, I didn't feel like there was much there. The characters were a bit bizarre in the sense that, you know, Andrew Garfield just kept, like, going back and forth, and he didn't seem to have a problem with what he was doing as he was making money, and then suddenly has a problem with it. So it was a bit half-assed in the ending, very rushed, very just, oh, this is gonna be dramatic, right? It wasn't dramatic to me at all, and I saw it coming. I saw it coming. So, a bit disappointed. Honestly, I was a bit disappointed by the movies from Sundance this year. I think the best year for Sundance movies was when Another Earth came out, Sound of My Voice, Simon Killer, you know, those were fantastic movies. Electric Children, that's one of my favorites. But this year, you know, after Cop Car, I fucking hated Cop Car. And now this one, I don't know. I was expecting a bit more from it. I'm glad Andrew Garfield, he was great. Michael Shannon was great, everybody. But, you know, I'm just glad that Andrew Garfield is getting back to doing what he wants to do. It was really sad what happened with Spider-Man, because you can clearly tell he was a fan, and then that went to shit. Who could predict that, right? That they're making a movie just so they don't lose the rights to it? Yeah, that can go wrong. So it sucked for him because he clearly liked Spider-Man, but the movies were terrible. So I'm glad that he's back to doing things that he wants to do and passion projects, I guess. And I'm excited to see what else he's got. This one, it was sort of like a mediocre comeback for him, I think. But, and it's not his fault. It was just like the movie, and I didn't. It's just a personal thing. It always comes to personal opinion, obviously, but maybe it was just the subject matter that I was a bit more about. But yeah, 99 Homes. Yeah. Tell me what you think.
All those in. Come
Do better than that. Let's get cooking.
What?
Sheriffs are here.
Why are they here?
My name's Rick Carver. I'm a licensed real estate broker. This home has been foreclosed on.
No, this is not happening.
I need you, your mom, and your son to step off the property.
This is not your home.
Mr. Carver, please don't.
Sir, you have 2 minutes. Pack whatever belongings you need.
Oh my God.
Does he have to stand there while she packs up? Is that right?
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
So you plan on staying for a while?
Just a couple nights.
You gotta get out of here. I'm gonna figure it out. I got no choice.
You kicked me out yesterday.
I didn't kick you out. The bank did. Did you do construction? I'll pay $50 cash.
Are you kidding me?
$50 shouldn't be a joke to you, son.
What are you doing with him? I gotta work, you know? Just want my home back.
Don't get emotional about real estate.
That's my family home.
If you want it, I need to know that I have someone who can handle any situation 24/7.
Are you putting notices on my window?
When you work for me, you're mine.
This is serious money.
Do you want to double what you made?
Are we stealing? Is this stealing? Feels a bit like trouble.
What'd you think it was going to mean working for me?
Mr. Tanner, hate to say it, your eviction is scheduled for the day.
You kick people out of their houses?
So I can put a roof over your head and I can put food in his mouth. Is this all worth it?
Don't be soft. You think America gives a flying rat's ass about you or me? America doesn't bail out the losers.
You kicked me and my family out of our home? I don't know you! I know you!
America was built by bailing out winners, by rigging a nation of the winners, for the winners, by the winners. Only 1 in 100's gonna get on that ark, son. Every other poor soul's gonna drown.